Welcome to another very exciting conversation. It's our pre-launch for HarmonyFest, and with me today I've got a wonderful person, a truly wonderful person, all the way from up northern New South Wales. And Joe Irwin is the host of our Empowering You Tribe, and is here today to talk to you about your masterclass, Joe, in Finding You. Which is wonderful, and I'm looking forward to it being part of HarmonyFest, which is coming up in 9 days' time, something like that. And you're actually one of our first masterclasses.
Oh, how exciting.
We've got over 20 masterclasses, and finding you amongst the chaos of life. Oh my God, what a wonderful topic. What an incredible topic, because I don't know if I'm the only person who, kind of thinks that life is getting just a little bit chaotic at the moment. And people do tend to very much lose themselves, I think, can lose themselves in this experience called life. So what I'd like to ask you, Joe, is what inspired you? I mean, what inspired you to create this masterclass about finding you amongst the chaos of life?
Well, I guess, hi, everybody. Thanks for having me, by the way. And yes, the HarmonyFest has come around so fast, too fast, actually. But yeah, finding you, I guess exactly what you just said then, Sophia, chaos. We're so programmed to live in this way of being in the world that often we forget about ourselves, and we get disconnected to what that self, that part of us that really knows what it wants, but gets pulled down into the rabbit hole of life. So what I want to talk about really is coming back to self, coming back to present moment, even amongst the chaos, okay, so that you can keep moving forward in a way that's serving you and serving everybody around you, okay, because a lot of the women I work with are very busy entrepreneurs. They have families, they have partners, they have all sorts of things, community things going on, and they just keep going. And we all know what happens if we don't take the time to come back to self. We'll burn out, we'll potentially get ill, we'll potentially create, something that we don't want in our bodies. So we have to really keep reminding ourselves to come back to ourselves, come back to presence, come back to that part that is disconnected from what you really want. So does that give you an idea of? Yeah,
it does. What I'd love to ask you is, let's start off you've mentioned things about being busy with work and family and being an entrepreneur. We have so many entrepreneurs in our community, and being part of HarmonyFest. How do you actually define what chaos is, a chaotic life in today's world?
Yeah. Well, chaos is, I guess, when you are doing all the things, trying to please everybody and do all the things. And sometimes, we get very frazzled in those moments. So it can get chaotic. We have too many plates. Like my friend calls me the girl with all the plates. All right. But knowing how to work with these plates, and putting them in compartments where you can be organized and moving forward without all the struggle, all the pain of trying to achieve what you want to achieve. And so compartmentalizing those all the things that you have going on in your life. For me, I've got like 4 businesses, so I had to learn how to compartmentalize everything, have this for this, this for this, this for this, and break it up so that you can keep moving forward. So chaos is, I know it's a pretty big word really, but it starts with the chaos in our mind, okay,
yes.
And all the stuff that we continually think, you know, over and over, often the same things we're thinking, but we're trying to keep it all in here. All right. And so I want to, you know, really help with getting clear on some practices and processes that can take it from here and into reality and keep moving forward, and learning to recognize those patterns of self-talk or things that come up in our mind, and all the to-do lists that are there, and working with them rather than against them. And that comes back to, you know, being self-aware in where we are in any given moment. Again, back to presence. So chaos is when we get disconnected from, and where we're not moving towards what we want, when we're just stagnating or being pulled back.
Yeah.
You know,
I love that explanation. So chaos is when we get disconnected. Like I really, and it's so true, because, you know, and as you're saying, you know, it starts off in our mind. When we disconnect from ourselves, from our source, from our quiet, you know, that peaceful part of us, then our mind starts to get busy and life starts to get busy.
yes.
So I love that explanation for everyone who's watching, especially if you're feeling or if you're experiencing that you're disconnected from yourself and life is getting a little bit too on top of you. You know, I know that for me, I think we all go through on our journey when we allow life to overtake us, and we lose ourselves. So, Jo, can you tell us, do you have a personal experience that you would like to share, and some tools that you used to be able to bring you back into, you know, to finding you, to experience your true nature?
Yeah, personal experience. I've probably got many. However, I guess when I get the one that comes to mind first and foremost is when I was single mum of 4, and I was running a business, and you know, all the things. I was driving my girls to a diner school, which was taking me an hour and a half each way each day, and then had 2 babies, and then the business, and it was just chaos. It was like, why am I doing this, right? But I learned that sometimes we just have to pull back and put life in perspective and go, well, what's the most important thing for me in this moment? And that comes back to my philosophy around slowing down to speed up. So taking the time, even though you feel like you cannot in that moment because there's too much to do, too much you have to do, or too many things that you need to hold the fort for, but making that space and coming back into doing something that's going to bring you back into your body, bring you back into yourself, and working out, you know, from a cognitive place, what are the steps I need to do? What are the things that are most important for me right now, in order to keep moving, but also for our dreams and goals. And that, yeah, so there's many processes and practices that I do personally and what I teach, but definitely taking the time out to really look at where you are. What do you need is the main question that you have to ask. What do I need right now in order for me to feel that I can keep moving forward? And putting everything else aside, and journaling is the most empowering process that I could teach anyone, because often it's our conscious mind that's telling us all the things that we need. But when we take time to stop, ask that question and just let the pen flow, you'll be amazed at what comes up. Often you'll find limiting beliefs and blocks and things that are getting in your way, that are sabotaging you. And we make and patterns that make ourselves busy, thinking that we're going to create more by keeping busy, than stopping and looking inside. And often they can even be a little bit fearful too. Like, you know, what am I going to find? what am I, because a lot of this stuff is unconscious or subconscious, unconscious. So, but it's so important to get back into balance, get back into your body and get some action steps to keep moving forward. And that could be doing nothing. Like you need, it's like you might feel, well, I'm being told to stop. It came up thick and clear in our mastermind call today that, if we don't pay attention, we pay with pain.
Oh, totally.
I think I got that one from Jim Rohn, but it's life will come and knock you down. I call it an angel clout. You'll get a bit of a clout, you'll be put, and then if you don't make the time, then you may have actually created like weeks of time out because something's happened, right? So little bit every day to keep you moving towards finding that self, back into that self, into the present moment. And even that, there's so many practices, even that practice of being in the moment in everything you do. I guess my goal is to be doing everything with intention.
Yes.
So really being present in what I'm doing in this moment and, speaking to you in this moment, connecting with you in this moment, connecting with our audience here in this moment. Nothing else matters. So if you can put that into practice in everything you do, it's powerful. I love the Eckhart Tolle stuff, he written a couple of books, Quiet and Earth. What was the Earth one? Anyway, it's such relevant work because we're so busy being busy.
We are. We're very good at doing.
We're very good at doing.
But have forgotten how to do it.
Particularly in here.
I think we're, the whole world just about has become an expert in being a human doing.
Yes.
But we've forgotten about how to be a human being.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so your masterclass, Finding You in the Chaos of Life. Now it's coming up it's coming up on Wednesday, October the 11th. So that's only in 9 days' time, people. It's only 9 days' time. Oh, my God. Can you believe it, Joey? She said it's coming up. I remember when we first started talking about this about 3 months ago. And HarmonyFest is here. So for everyone who's watching, whether it's live or replay, do click on the links below and book in, reserve your space for Finding You in the Chaos Life. So many tips. Yeah. So, Jo, can you tell us a little bit about your actual masterclass? What can people expect? And yes, what will you be sharing?
I'll be sharing obviously some practices and processes that I teach and use myself personally that can help you get into the routine of really being in your body and in the present moment. Essentially, I think we're all looking for happiness at the end of the day. That's the goal. But we all get defaulted back to that, the familiar. What the mind tells us is what we need. So we'll be working on things that will help support you to stay in that, finding out what you want firstly and foremost. Okay, yes. We can't really find ourselves until we know what we want.
Yes.
And the biggest question that comes up for most of us spiritual entrepreneurs in some point in our journey is, who am I? Or who am I? So Finding You is about finding who you truly are at your core. We'll be working with the soul self and the human self, okay, and helping to form unity, companion for each other and compassion, working with the mind, working with the human self, the ego self, and versus what the soul self is calling you to do. So it could be a really wonderful process for somebody or class for somebody that's looking for their purpose. Okay, why am I here? These are the common questions that come up for many of us on a journey of spiritual, I was going to say entrepreneurship, but spiritual, path. And what do you want? What do you truly want? What is your soul calling for you? So it'll be very interactive, very good for finding self, finding out who you are, what you want, why you're here. We'll be doing an actual activation process, a writing process, which will support that as you move forward, because there's no point in knowing what you want and who you are unless you have a plan of action to take the next step. So hopefully want to leave people with that next action step for them personally. And also there'll be time at the end for Q&A. So if anyone has anything they want to bring to the table or have support with, we can open up for conversation or just questions around the challenges that may come up, because they will come up. They always will. It's part of life. And how do we move through that? How do we keep moving when they do come up?
Absolutely. So that's like even bonuses. You get more with the attending the workshop, to be able to find out, as you say, to get to know who you are, to find out who we are. Not everyone realizes or has experienced that. And then also how to take that and have plans for the future in living in this world, but without the chaos.
Yes, with the calm, ease, freedom, all the words, all the good stuff. Freedom, yeah. Happiness, right? Being in your body more happy than not.
Yes. Yeah.
Knowing how to bring yourself back to that state. Yeah.
Love it. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Like I said, it's on our first day of HarmonyFest, which is coming up if you're here in Australia or in the Southern Hemisphere, the 11th to the 14th of October and the 10th to the 13th if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And the masterclass, Joe's masterclass, is on Wednesday, the 11th of October at 9:30 a.m. A wonderful time. Here in Australia and in New York, it's the evening before, Tuesday the 10th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. That is Eastern time. Thoroughly recommend. It's such a valued opportunity, and so affordable, Joe. Thank you for making it so affordable for everyone. And of course, if you're a tribe member, if you're a Sacred You tribe member, then you get it for 50% off. It's only 10 Australian dollars.
Wow.
Oh my God. I mean, this is for everyone. So do click on that link, on the links. Book in. Get your space for finding you amongst the chaos of life. And while you're there, also click on the links for HarmonyFest, because, like we said, Joe's one of our 23 masterclasses that we're having over 4 days. And we've got lots of online readers, lots of stall holders, virtual stall holders, so much happening. So do come and join us. And Joe, before we leave, can I just ask you one last question? I'd love to know, do you have any last tips or any messages of empowerment for everyone who's watching and for the people who attend your masterclass that you would like to convey to the world? Any last message about empowering ourselves, finding ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. Just remember who you are essentially at your core and what you want, and just, really tune into that part of you every single day and go for it. Like, go for your dreams. There will be challenges, but it's about learning how to work through those as they come up sooner rather than later, so they don't block you from achieving what you want. And finding yourself is really the first step to getting what you want in life. And that will be amazing. And the other thing I just wanted to share is there's going to be lots of freebies. Lots of freebies in I loaded some up on the weekend into our shop, and you have access to those as well as but that normally people pay for in my group, in my world. So so come and join and have some fun with this too. Life's too serious.
Life's too serious, and I think finding you is about having fun.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
go and explore like
Yeah.
a little kid in a candy shop.
All right, Joe, thank you ever so much for joining us. I look forward to your masterclass, which is just in 9 days'
Yay.
time.
Excited. Excited. And you've done such an amazing job getting all this together. I can only imagine the huge amount of work behind the scenes. So, and your team. So thank you everyone for putting this together. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you. And thank you, Joe, for being part of it. And yes, and thank you for everyone who's been helping, because without everyone who's coming together, it wouldn't be possible. So it's really, really appreciated. And Joe, you have a wonderful afternoon.
You too. Blessings to those in the world that are still Sunday.
Yes, for those who are in the Northern Hemisphere and it's still Sunday, and for here it is, of course, our public holiday. So I hope you're going to take the afternoon off. And looking forward to seeing you in just 9 days' time for Finding You.
Excited. Thanks so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.